What if I told you can get magazine-worthy product shots in the palm of your hand, in your room, in your bed, right now? I wouldn't be here talking to you if I couldn't actually tell you how to do this, and that's just what I'm doing today here in this tutorial. Ken Jones back again with another I Technically Can tutorial. And this is for all my business owners, my side hustlers, my entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, all of y'all. We need product shots. But professional photo shoots mean professional photo shoot money. And sometimes we ain't got it. We got professional photo shoots at home. What does that mean? You don't need all the cameras, studio lights, flashy backdrops, none of that. Google got a nice little secret weapon for you. Nano Banana. Yep, you heard that right. Nano Banana. This is Google's latest drop in the image generation space, and it is wild. Now, you can access this through Google Gemini, the free version, but you only get to do a couple of generations. You can also access this through the Google AI workspace, but same thing, unless you're on one of those paid plans, you're only going to be able to use this for a few different image generations, which that can be useful on the fly for if you need one or two, but a lot of times you want to get a bunch of different iterations, different angles, and so on. And that is where I'm going to help y'all out and show you a little workaround to be able to access a free use for as many generations as you need to complete your task. Nano Banana is different than a lot of the other image generation tools that have been available up to this point. With Nano Banana, you're able to keep consistency, which has been an issue with a lot of the image generation tools that have been available up to now. So you being able to take a product, write a picture of your product and place it in different scenery or make changes to a current photo, right? Let's say there's a backdrop that you've got and you want to actually switch the backdrop up. You love the placement, you love the elements, but you just want the backdrop change. You can do that. So what I'm going to show you today is how to use ChatGPT to actually create the prompt. And we're going to take that prompt and we're going to go over into the platform that we can access Nano Banana from, and that's going to get plugged in along with that same reference image, and we'll have some magic on our hand. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So to make that happen, a couple of steps that you have to take first. I'm using Google Chrome, so what I'm going to need to do is open up an incognito browser. So I'm going to go File menu, New Incognito window. And once in that incognito window, what we're going to do in the search bar is type in LM Arena. So LM and Arena. I'm going to hit enter. This is going to be the first result. I'm just going to click on that LM Arena link there. Now here on the home page, we need to come to the top where we see battle. Click that drop down and select direct chat. Now, there's another step to this. After we've changed this to direct chat, we're going to come down and you're going to see this generate images icon. You're going to give that a click. And when you do, you'll notice now that this model has been updated to Gemini 2.5 Flash Image Preview Nano Banana. Now, as I mentioned, I am going to provide you with a link to download this prompt that we're going to be using here. So this prompt template is set up for you to just copy everything and paste that into ChatGPT. And I'll quickly just go through what we've got going on here. So what we're doing is we're setting up ChatGPT to work with our images, our product images, along with some reference visuals. So it starts with, I'll upload one or more product images and optionally reference visuals from campaigns or brands I want to mimic. So this is where we put in an image of that product, your product, along with some reference images for inspiration. So if you've come across a campaign or a shoot that you've seen online or in a magazine, on a website, you can go ahead and grab that image, add that to the prompt, and that's going to help give it the understanding of what it's going to look like. And that's where this next part comes into play. It says your job is to analyze the visual style, mood, and composition, including all of those elements on those bullet points you see there. There's also this angle option, so you get to choose what angle you want this shot from. So you can look through these, see which of those angles are gonna work for you. So there's two different output formats that I've made available here. The first one is gonna give you just the prompt block. So it's gonna give you the text, and you can go ahead and copy that text to your clipboard and then jump over to Nano Banana, paste that in, and get that image generated based on this prompt. I've also added this CSV style. So this is in case you're trying to, keep track of your prompts as you're building them out. You can use this and add it to a Google Sheet. You can add this to Notion if that's something that you utilize. And what it allows you to do is actually play around after you have created one prompt. You can go back in and just change each element by each of these categories and then generate a whole new prompt based on that. So again, you may not use this, but it's there in case you find use for it. After it gives you the prompt, it's also going to follow up and ask if you'd like any of these following bullet points here, which is a flat lay spin-off version, 3-image storyboard, same prompt with a new angle, or a different lighting mood version. So it's just helping you to expand on your original idea if that's something that you want to do. I find that these LLMs are good for thinking outside of the box that I might have my thinking patterns in at the moment. So definitely useful. Then it's going to say, let me know when you're ready for uploads, and I'll send product images, optional campaign, reference images, and then chosen angles for each image. What I'm going to do is copy everything below that line as the instructions said and come back to ChatGPT. I'm going to paste this in and go ahead, submit that query there. And so you'll see here, said it got everything locked in and structured the way you want it. Here's the workflow. Upload product images, upload the reference campaign visual, tell the camera angle. Once that's done, it's going to give us the standalone prompt block, that CSV style table. And then after, it's going to ask us about variation. So here I'm going to go ahead and go grab these photos I've got. Let me see. Got a folder here. So I'm actually going to be doing these image generations using the homies brand, which is Plant Boys PDX. If y'all are not hit, make sure you go check it out. Fresh pressed juices. Very organic, very healthy, the lifestyle that we're all trying to live. He's already got some branding going with this brand, so I'm going to kind of take on the idea in which he's already started with and kind of play off of that. And then I'm also going to just try something fun. What I'm going to do is start with grabbing, there's this pack of juices that he's got right here. Sent me this image, and I'm going to use this to start. So this is the actual product image here. So I'm going to click open. And then I'm going to go back into that folder, and I grabbed some images offline. I like this kind of lay flat joint here with the different fruits and veggies around. So this is going to be the reference image. So I'm going to go ahead, click open there. So now I've got both of these set here. And now I can tell it, if there is a specific camera angle, I'm just going to leave it as a lay flats, because again, that's what the reference image that I'm throwing in there, or inspo image. That's how that's set up. I'm going to go and then just hit any, I didn't have to type in a whole bunch of text. Just gave it those images. And there we go. Generated that standalone prompt block. So this right here is what I'm going to go ahead and take into that Nano Banana space. So I'm going to go ahead and jump back over into the LM arena. All right, so back in this LM arena, I'm going to go ahead and paste this prompt in, and I'm also just going to grab the original photo, not the reference. The reference was just used in ChatGPT so that we were able to actually get our prompt put together. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the actual product image though, so that here inside of this Nano Banana model, it has that as a foundation. So I'm going to go ahead and submit that prompt. Now look at that. It's got some spilled juice around here. Nice little extra touch, like it was really going down in that in that kitchen where they was pressing this together. When an image is generated, you have the option to download it. So I can click this download button there, click save it to where I need it. But you also have the option to just hit this two circular arrows there for the retry, and it will just go through. If there's something about it that, okay, let me see if it gets better, or if it gets worse. It had some juice spillage. Let's see if this next one also has that juice spillage. A little bit here, a little bit different. Funny thing is, when I was running this earlier, no juice spills anywhere, but that also goes back to the prompt, right? I can go ahead and take that prompt, right? Come back here, paste this in, and I can go ahead and say, let me see, not add spilled juice to the image. And then what I'll do is I'll right click on this image that was created with that juice spill, copy that, click back into this field here, and then I'm just pasting. I could have also right clicked and chose paste. I control or command V on that keyboard because I'm fancy like that. I'll go ahead and click submit, and we'll see what it does. Notice each of these generations, the image looks essentially the same. It's not turning into a whole different style. There we go. Cleaned it on up. That's what I'm talking about. Cleaned it on up. I'm gonna go ahead and download that joint too. So now you see that. So now, playing around. Let's say I've got another idea. Let me pull up another image. I'm gonna go add photos, and I'm gonna say I want this in. Let's go with something like this. I'm gonna go with let me see. Yeah. So we'll go with this style. Let's see what this gives us. I'm gonna drop that in. Need a prompt for this. Actually, I'm gonna just to make sure, right? I'm gonna bring in that. I got fancy. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this. All right. So I'm gonna jump back over into that LM Arena. Go ahead and add those juices and submit that. Let's see what we get. I also like the countdown. It's kind of nice. Now, I did run into a couple of times where the seconds were just running on up. It got up to like 2 minutes, and at that point I was like, okay, this isn't working. So I just had to refresh, and it was good to go after that. All right, so we got a little Playmate punch pour here. Let me see. Let's see what I can do. Being that this typically is, involved with the culture, I'm gonna paste this in, and I'm gonna find where it said a hand. Let me see, African American woman's hand. I'm gonna add my apostrophe. I've found that I am getting more and more reckless with my spelling. As somebody that's always been a stickler for spelling and correct punctuation, working with these LLMs sometimes, because I know it's gonna understand, I'll just keep going. And I feel like that at some point is gonna turn into like muscle memory and translate into me just spelling horribly. So brain is a muscle. Keep exercising it. All right, so let me go ahead and also add, I didn't mean to add that image. I'm gonna right click on this image because I'm just looking to change this image that it generated. So I'm gonna go ahead, copy and paste that in. And then I'm gonna go and submit. Oh, gave me an issue. Let me see. I'm gonna give it a refresh. Let's see if it works its way through it this time. All right, even added some pixie little dust there. All right, so now we get to see how this worked out with a slightly different response. Of course, we can go in and tell it different stuff for that background, the background elements there. This is just scratching the surface. I just wanted to show you that the possibilities do exist here. You can get, especially when it comes to those in-studio style product shoots where it's just, tabletop stuff. If you're looking for that clean aesthetic, this is gonna be solid for that. But there's a lot of use cases. Again, it's just spend some time getting reference photos that you want to use, because the more of that you're able to feed, it's able to build out an idea of exactly what you want. And once you find that prompt, keep that prompt so that you can reuse that prompt. You can keep bringing that back and using it, making the subtle tweaks that you need to. If you already have products that were shot in a specific style and you can't, for whatever reason, access that photographer anymore, utilize this to get that update. I know there's times I've dropped shirts and then did a photo shoot or did a hat run and decided later I'm going to go with a different colorway and couldn't get to my photographer in time. So being able to utilize a tool like this would have been clutch. So all that said, make sure that you do go ahead, click all the buttons, the like, the subscribe if you found this useful. Also, you can sign up for the I Technically Can Tech Tips to get weekly tech tips sent straight to your inbox. I send those out every Tuesday, and it's information like this pointing you to resources in addition to prompts that you can use that you won't find anywhere else except in that email. With that said, hopefully this helped you out. If it did, let me know. If you generate something cool, show it to me. I'm Ken Jones, and I'm out of there.